What if one of the best things you can do for a healthier, fuller, more beautiful garden next year is something you can do this fall, without buying a single new plant? If your perennials are getting crowded, producing fewer flowers, or simply looking tired, the answer may be sitting right beneath the soil, dividing your plants. Fall is one of the best times to give many perennial flowers a fresh start. The weather is cooler, the soil is still warm, and newly divided plants have time to develop strong roots before winter arrives. And here's the best part. One overcrowded plant can often become several healthy new plants, for free. But timing matters, and so does knowing which plants actually benefit from fall division. Stay with me, because number 1 is especially important if you grow irises, and number 8 might be the easiest perennial on this list to multiply. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more simple gardening tips to help you grow a healthier and more beautiful garden. Number 8, Louisiana Iris. Louisiana irises bring incredible color to the spring garden, with flowers appearing in shades of purple, blue, yellow, white, and even copper. But after their beautiful spring display, these plants eventually become dormant during summer. That makes late summer through early fall an excellent opportunity to lift and divide their rhizomes. Carefully dig up the rhizomes and look for healthy green growing tips. Separate the sections, making sure each piece has the potential to grow on its own. Then replant them in the ground or even in containers. The cooler temperatures of fall can encourage fresh growth and help the plants establish themselves for future seasons. A good rule of thumb is to divide Louisiana irises every 2 to 3 years when they begin looking crowded. And remember this important tip for almost every plant on today's list. Try to divide them 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes. That gives the new divisions valuable time to settle in and develop roots. Number 7, Daylily. Daylilies are tough, reliable, and famous for producing beautiful flowers year after year. But even these garden favorites can become overcrowded. Once flowering has slowed down in fall, it's time to check whether your clumps need dividing. Start by cutting the foliage back to around 6 inches above the ground. This makes the plant easier to handle and reduces stress during transplanting. Then carefully dig around the plant, staying away from the crown, and gently lift the root ball. Shake or remove enough soil so you can clearly see the tuberous roots. Now separate the clump into smaller divisions. Ideally, each new section should have 3 to 5 healthy fans of foliage and a strong root system. Replant immediately at the same depth and water thoroughly. Do this right and one crowded daylily can reward you with multiple healthy plants next season. Number 6, Black-Eyed Susan. Black-eyed Susans are loved for their bright golden petals and dark centers. They can make a garden look cheerful for weeks. But as they spread and mature, overcrowding can become a problem. If you want to keep them vigorous and prevent one clump from becoming too large, consider dividing them about every 3 years. In early fall, gently dig up the entire clump and carefully separate it into smaller sections. The key is simple. Every division should have both healthy roots and foliage. Replant them in a sunny location with well-draining soil. Early fall works especially well because the plants have some time to recover before winter arrives. And by next growing season, those smaller divisions can develop into stronger, healthier clumps. Number 5, Coreopsis. Coreopsis, also called tickseed, is one of those plants that brings instant brightness to the garden. Its cheerful yellow and orange flowers are perfect for cottage-style gardens, but like many perennials, it can benefit from division every few years. Early fall is an ideal time. Carefully dig around the clump and lift it from the soil. Then divide it into smaller sections, making sure each section has healthy roots and some foliage. Replant each division at the same depth it was growing before. You don't need to do this every year. But when a Coreopsis clump becomes overcrowded or begins losing its neat appearance, division can help restore vigorous growth. Sometimes a little extra space is exactly what a perennial needs to thrive again. Number 4, Bee Balm. If you love attracting butterflies, bees, and other pollinators, Bee Balm is probably already one of your favorite plants. But Bee Balm can spread, and crowded growth can leave the plant looking less healthy over time. Fall is a great time to divide it. Start by cutting the plant back to about 6 inches above the ground. Then use a digging fork to carefully work around the root ball and lift the plant. Once you can see the rhizomes and growing points, gently separate the healthy sections by hand. This is important. Don't feel like you have to save every single piece. Keep the healthiest divisions with strong roots and healthy growing points, and discard weak or damaged sections. Replant your best divisions, give them a good watering, and let them establish before winter. Your garden and your pollinators will thank you next year. Number 3. Garden Phlox. Garden Phlox brings beautiful color and a wonderful fragrance from summer into fall, but mature clumps can eventually become crowded, which is when division becomes especially useful. Once flowering is finished, carefully dig around the root ball and lift the entire clump. Here's a helpful trick. Washing away some of the soil can make it much easier to see where the plant naturally wants to separate. You can gently pull those sections apart or use a clean, sharp knife if necessary. Choose divisions with healthy shoots and strong root systems. Then replant them immediately at the same depth. Don't leave those roots sitting around too long. The faster you get healthy divisions back into the soil, the less stress they experience. Number 2. Coneflower. Coneflowers are tough native favorites, loved by gardeners and pollinators alike. But even a tough plant can become overcrowded. To divide coneflowers in fall, begin by cutting back the foliage. Then dig carefully around the clump, keeping roughly 6 inches away from the crown so you don't damage the roots. Gently lift the root ball and remove excess soil. Once you can see the roots clearly, separate the clump into healthy sections. Each division should have a good portion of roots and enough growth to establish itself successfully. Replant them in full sun and well-draining soil. The goal isn't just to create more plants, it's to give each plant enough room to grow stronger. And now, we've reached number 1, the perennial many gardeners already have growing in shady parts of the yard. Number 1, Hosta. Hostas are perhaps one of the easiest and most rewarding perennials to divide in fall. The reason is simple. Cooler temperatures reduce stress, while the soil often remains warm enough for new roots to develop before winter. Carefully dig up the mother plant, trying to keep as much of the root system intact as possible. Then use a clean, sharp spade to divide it into smaller clumps. Each new clump should ideally have 2 to 3 healthy eyes, those pointed shoots growing from the crown, along with plenty of roots. Replant each division at the same depth, and be careful not to bury the crown too deeply. With the right timing and a little care, one mature hosta can become several healthy plants, helping you fill more of your garden without spending more money at the nursery. So before you put away your garden tools this fall, take a look around. Are your daylilies crowded? Has your bee balm spread too far? Are your hostas getting bigger every year? Dividing the right perennials now can mean healthier roots, stronger plants, and more beautiful blooms next year. Just remember, divide at the right time. Keep every new section healthy. Replant promptly, water well, and give your plants several weeks to establish before the ground freezes. Which of these perennial flowers do you have in your garden? Let me know in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gardening tips.